guys, and welcome to another episode of Woke by Accident Podcast, a weekly chat about socially conscious topics impacting the culture. Welcome, and we're excited to introduce our co-host, Simbaza, creator and host of the Simbaza podcast, hailing from the Republic of Kenya in East Africa. Simbaza has made a remarkable impact in the podcasting world, earning 3 nominations for Best African Diasporan Podcast by the APVA. He was a featured presenter at the 2024 Afros Audio Podcast Festival. He just came back from the 2025 Podfest conference, and Simbaza brings a wealth of knowledge and unique perspectives to our show. Welcome, Simbaza.
Hey, Jen, what's up? How y'all doing?
Hey, welcome.
Good.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. I'm glad to come back with another show for you guys. We do have a great guest this week as we get right into the middle of season 7, or the beginning of season 7. So really excited that you guys are checking us out. Even if you're checking us out on the replay, we appreciate you. And this episode will be great like any other. We'll be exploring the intersection of authenticity and self improvement and content creation. And so our guest will share about that particular topic with us. So, thoughts on that, Simbaza?
Yep. Well, guys, Jared is sounding great, and I haven't met him before. It's the first time we're hanging out. So, from what I've heard and what I've been seeing, I think there are good things going to come out of this. Um, yeah, it's going to be a great show, as always.
For sure. And so, before we introduce our guest, Simbaza will bring a word of affirmation to get the ball rolling in this really great conversation about mental health. Our guest is a advocate for mental health, so we're really excited to have this conversation. And to set the stage, Simbaza will bring us a word of affirmation.
Okay, so this is going to be affirmations from which are supposed to be for the Black History Month. Actually, they're tied to it. So I'm going to read out to what I have. So it goes: I am divinely designed, created through breath, and molded with intention. I am plural in singular form, and my existence is a constant mercy, infinitely tethered with every breath. I'm always returning. Ida Z.M.
Okay, thank you for sharing that. Awesome. And so, yeah, we will get ready to introduce our guests at this time. And so, our today's guest will that we'll be bringing is a podcast host, producer, mental health advocate, and founder of the D.A.M.N Solutions digital creative agency, a featured content creator, also the voice behind the podcast. It's about damn time, where he shares authentic conversations and insights on life, self discovery, and self improvement. And our guest will share about his podcast as well as what the heart of authenticity truly means as a content creator, how to stay genuine, connect meaningfully with your audience, and navigate the pressures of the digital space. So, with that, we are glad to welcome Mr. Jarratt Butler.
Thank you. I'm hearing applause in my head. I'm hearing applause in my head. Thank you very so much. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Look,
welcome.
that intro is so good. I'm going to use it as my personal bio now. Like, yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for that gift because I'm using that for now on. Thanks.
For sure. And Simbaza, you don't remember, we met Jarratt in Baltimore, remember?
I do remember him.
Uh,
Sometimes it's like a passing by. You're like, "Hey, what's up?" Then you kind of miss
It
each
was
other
it
out.
was a lot going on in Baltimore.
it
It was a lot.
was, and I
Yeah,
wish we would had more time, but
yeah.
it was so fun to meet you there. So we hopefully get to see you again.
Absolutely, absolutely. I am
Hmm.
definitely going to do more conferences. I love
Yeah.
interacting with different podcasters, learning different things. So yeah, I went to a couple last year, so I need to go
Hmm.
to at least We'll say at least 3 this year. We'll see what the budget say, but we'll say at least 3 this year.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's do
Better get
it.
to the budget, man.
Yeah, we got to check the budget. You know what I mean? Like, it's, in this economy,
Well,
you got to check the budget.
welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Glad to have you here. And I have a proverb, and we're gonna introduce these proverbs from time to time. So
Okay.
here goes. This proverb for today is a South African proverb from the Zulu tribe. Now, a few things that you want to know, some fun facts about South Africa is South Africa has at least 12 official languages, and most South Africans speak more than one.
Hmm.
And Dr. Christian Barnard performed the world's first heart surgery transplant in Cape Town in 1967.
Come on, Black History.
Okay, all right. So here's a proverb for you: a person is a person because of other people. What do you think about it?
A
What do you interpret?
person
Hmm.
is a person because of other people.
Right.
Okay. All right. Um. Yeah. I think people are people because of the interactions that we had,
Hmm.
because of the exchange of information, the exchange of emotions. I think without if a person didn't have people, it'd be like any other animal in the animal kingdom. And I
Hmm.
think that's what makes us distinctly different from animals. Is just having that perspective, that understanding, the ability to emote, to feel, to think, to strive to be better. In animal kingdom, it's just I'm just trying to eat. I'm trying to keep my power. And
Hmm. Hmm.
sometimes as humans we get a little animalistic. That's neither here nor there. It's probably a different topic for a different day. But at the same time, I think that human element of just that interaction and sharing stuff makes all the difference. So yeah, I like that. That's
All right.
dope. Yeah.
Hmm.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Remember, there's no right or wrong answer, and that's your interpretation. If anyone
Yeah.
Yeah.
else has interpretation on the comments, they can let us know as well. All right, now let's get into the meat of the things or the business of the podcast, which is finding out about yourself. Just tell us who you are and a little bit of background to the viewers.
Yeah. Yeah, Jarratt Butler, Jarratt Dan Butler, for, if you will, for those that know. If you know, you know. Um, I am originally from Shreveport, Louisiana. I've been here in the Atlanta metro area for about almost 18 years. Jeez, time
Mm.
sneaking up on you. Um, I've been doing podcasting for probably on and off with different entities for probably well over 10 years. But I've been doing this about damn time, my baby that I birthed myself for almost about 4.5 years now. It's about damn time. It's a podcast about self discovery. It's my self journey. I'm trying to be better every day. I'm trying to work to
Mhm.
be better every day. It's personal development. It's self improvement, but it's not coming from that perspective that I'm the expert. You should listen to me. I'm struggling just like how
Mhm.
everybody else is struggling. So I put my stuff out there. I think in order to get people to really buy into to what you're saying, you got to first be vulnerable. And I know we're going to touch on that
Mhm.
a little bit more now later on in the show. But I really think that's important. Hence the reason that my stories are on display. Hence the reason that when I have guests, I'm talking about it from my perspective. I don't want to talk about it from a what if type of scenario or you know men versus female or anything else like that. I'm giving you my perspective on things and opening up and hopefully that share gets the people thinking, gets hey, I can be better. I want to do
Mhm.
better, and maybe this is a step. Overall, you are not alone with everything that you go through, and that's the whole point of that. So that's just who I am in a nutshell. Person that just wants to help people. Person that I spend a lot of time just trying to make people smile or give people different perspectives. Maybe not a whole lot of time for myself, but we working on that, and that's me in a nutshell. Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
How do you define a person's authenticity as a content creator?
I think really, it's just really about just showing up as you. Like I think in social media, I think in podcasts, and I think in any type of content that you have, There is the urge to be show the highlights. Oh, I got this many downloads. Oh, I got this many followers. Oh, come get ready with me as I win this award, or I have this achievement. I think showing up is sometimes showing up and being like, you know what, today life sucks, and you know what, I might have to get in my bed and watch the Justice League cartoons, until I shake it off. It might be
Yeah.
it might be like, you know what, today I'm gonna take some time out for me. I'm not gonna focus on work, and maybe I go to a park or go to a restaurant and have some good ramen, and like
Mm-hmm.
food for the soul or something like that. It might be just venting to a friend, but I think when you're showing up as far as content creation, it's highlighting those moments. It's talking about those moments. It's saying, hey, it's not always a win here. It's important to share your losses. I mean, you don't have to sit there and publicly be like, "Yo, I suck," and here's why. I mean, that's not what we're saying. But I think it's very important to just be there and be like, "Hey, this is how I'm feeling at the time." I think I had when I back in the day when I used to blog. It was back in the day. I used to finish every blog post with, "These are just my thoughts, right or wrong, just what I'm feeling at the time," and that's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. Showing up as a content creator and being vulnerable is just telling people, "This is what I'm feeling at the time."
Yes, and that makes me think of many of your posts that you have shared where you have definitely shown your vulnerability. Can you explain or share why you're so comfortable being transparent with your audience? I mean, like you've showed and getting emotional and all of that type of thing.
Yeah, I feel like I tend to cry a lot on my podcast.
That's
Yeah, I
okay.
do. I do. I do. It's funny. I
Mm-hmm.
Most people when they talk to me or when they listen to the podcast or they see clips on social media, I think the first thing they say is, "Wow, you're so vulnerable. I wish I could be that comfortable being vulnerable." Here's the I'm gonna keep y'all a secret. Between all of us, I'm keeping you a secret. I ain't that comfortable. Like, not at all. I overthink. I be
Yeah.
scared. Like I am
Yeah.
not that comfortable. I think it's just something I feel like I need to do at times. I think
Mm-hmm.
it
Mm-hmm.
goes back to kind of like the first time when I actually showed some sort of vulnerability online. I think that was again going back to my blogging days.
Mm-hmm.
I talked about the day where I was going to kill myself. I talked about the day where
Mm-hmm.
I it wasn't a thought to take my life. I had a plan. I had pills. This was what I was going to do. I was going to knock this out, and I wanted. I was just launching that website, and I wanted to have a powerful story to tell people about. But I posted, and I was scared. Like I was biting my nails. I don't have nails now because of that. I was biting my nails. I was like, my stomach was in knots because it's opening up and sharing that. Um, it's easy to do that, to share. Oh man, I thought I slipped and I fell, because everybody falls, but not everybody
Mm-hmm.
has that. It's gonna be a different reaction to people when they make that statement. And what changed for me, what made it more powerful for me is when people the response I got from that, which is why I kind of answered that proverb the way I did, because people
Mm-hmm.
made me feel kind of like that, because people were like, "Hey, I was feeling like this. I have been feeling like this. Like you changed my life, because I see that somebody else is going through it." And
Mm-hmm.
maybe when they see me, I'm happy go lucky, I'm smiling, I'm making some jokes, so they didn't think I was going through it. But the fact that I shared it, they were in my inbox doing it. I'm like, well, hell, I guess I got to keep doing it now. I guess even when I'm scared, I still push forward to try to be me and be as vulnerable as possible.
Absolutely. And I'm glad that you got through those rough times. We've shared this number before, but we will share it again that there is, resources for people. If you have, some dark thoughts and you need to talk to somebody, there is a 3-digit number that you can contact. It is 988 and that will take you right to crisis services where you can call, text it, chat it, and train crisis specialists are available to speak with you. You don't have to go through these moments alone anytime or day, 24 hours a day. Samantha?
Thank you. I was actually looking at that when you when you were looking at.
Yeah.
So, Jared, mental health is very important to you, and it's
Mhm.
great to see another African American male voice addressing this topic.
Mhm.
In your show, you've shared experiences with depression. Um, can you tell us how you're doing with that now, in terms of how you're growing it in with the rest of the world?
I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of rough right now. Like so,
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
so as we know, we kind of talked before the show, and y'all know what I shared in Baltimore. You know, prior to the election and everything else, I was laid off my job, and so um I like to have a steady income, no matter what, and the fact that got, ended like just like that in the blink of an eye, kind of messed up things. I got a 16-year-old daughter in Dallas who has very expensive tastes. I got rent.
Mhm.
I got car notes. I got little people that depend on me. I got things I want to do to expand the podcast. I just got to eat in general. I got to put gas in my car. So it's
Absolutely.
so between that between me being a person that suffers from seasonal affective disorder, or it used to be called seasonal depression, but having that, and it's colder, the days are shorter, having that pressure on you, it has not been easy. I'm not gonna lie to you. I took a break from the podcast right at the right time. I think I needed it. I don't think I would have been able to be positive or even be here as a guest on this show. That again, thank you for having me, by the way. But I don't think I would have been able to be a guest on this show, and talk about this right now if I didn't take that break. And
Mhm.
honestly speaking, it's probably you catch me at a good time. It's probably the best week I felt in a while. And has things changed? Not really, but I feel like I kind of got a little bit over the storm, and I took that time to just take the pressure off me and be human. But um, even when you feel like you at your best, even when you feel like you're giving a podcast, when you're talking about mental health and telling people what they, how they can fight it and beat it, and give them that nice information, Jen, that you provided to the listeners about the crisis hotline, you still struggle. And
Mhm.
I told some people that um, having depression, having a mental health, crisis and disorder like that is a
Mhm.
lot like being like a drug addict or an alcoholic. You're always going to be that. You know what I mean? You're always going to be that.
Mhm.
You just
Mhm.
you have to. They really say take one day at a time. That's really what it is. So when you're doing the things that you need to do, and being in the positive light, when you have those thoughts, those dark thoughts, you can it's like a fly. You can swat them away. Like yeah, stop it. But when you're in that space, it lingers a little bit more, and you got to kind of do a little bit more
Mhm.
work to pull yourself out of it. So I think that's what it is, and luckily I took that time to do that, and I'm feeling a lot better now. I'm feeling a lot more positive these days, despite how
Good.
the world looks and people that are in charge and what they're doing,
Absolutely.
across America.
Well, we're glad. Definitely glad.
Well, at least you shared to us some of those pivotal moments that you had throughout your journey. We really appreciate that. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah. And so, in your opinion, how would you say that mental health impacts the content creative or content creation process and our creative work? It's definitely related. So,
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
yeah.
Like I said, when me taking that break, I'm glad it came at the time. I don't think I would have been able to create any content, and like even
Mhm.
up until probably like last week, I had concepts of a podcast episode,
Yeah.
but I necessarily had the time to really think about it, or execute them. And it it's that mindset of being positive, and excuse me, just looking over things, and seeing things in a different light. So when you're down and you're fighting, you just feel like you're trying to survive. It's not a whole lot of room for a creative outlet. It's not a whole lot of room to be like, oh, I could do this real, and tie this in to this, or ooh, I can make this month, about have kind of a segment, some segments for a show or something like that. It's kind of hard to put all that together when you just
Mm-hmm.
fight to survive. So the it does correlate, and I think for content creators, I think overall we tend to sleep on mental health because we want the
Mm-hmm.
downloads, we want the followers, we want the big impact, we want to sit there and make the money from our content. But at the same time, if you're not in a good state, your content's gonna be crap, or you're gonna struggle
Mm-hmm.
to do it, or you're not gonna care, and you kind of half-ass it, so to speak. And I think
Mm-hmm.
it's important to take care of yourself to be able to be your best self when it comes to creating content. Um, and that's in a multiple ways of doing it. Whatever you're struggling with, you have to be your best self when you're doing this, because when those comments come in, y'all know how the comments are. When those comments come in, when people are like, "Why do you do that? That look crazy. That look terrible." You just spend like 4 hours working on that. It's you need to be
Mm-hmm.
in a good mental state. You definitely do.
Yeah, especially
Definitely.
having to feed the beast.
Yeah.
Somebody has told me once, yeah, the podcasting or content creation is more about feeding the beast. So you have to be careful on how when you want to go viral, because once you get viral, you start thinking about how can I go viral many more times. And
Hmm.
the more you do that, the more you have to try and figure out how to get enough content to still keep feeding that maybe 1,000 views that you had, 2,000 views that you had at this time. I mean, yeah, they tell you have to go look for the stats, but they don't understand how the stats come in and how they can affect you.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what are some self improvement tools that have helped you the most?
Now, I spend a lot of time in different episodes talking about different things, whether it's supplements like vitamin D that and magnesium that help regulate those things in your body. Where it's talking about moving your body and exercising, whether it's talking about just even if it's breathing exercises, you know, de-stressing, self-care, all those things are important. And people are going to tell you all those things when they talk about it. I feel like the number one thing that you need to do in order to be successful, in order for you as a person to be able to defeat that beast of that depression and anxiety, is consistency. And no one really talks about consistency, but that's the number one thing. Because whether you're drinking smoothies, you're trying to lose weight, whether you're trying to take
Mm-hmm.
all your supplements, whether you try to do exercise, whether it's yoga in the morning, whether you're just doing breathing, you have to be consistent. That's the
Mm-hmm.
number one thing. Whatever you choose, because there's a lot of things out there, and some things is gonna work for you, and some things you just mentally you just like not gonna be ready for. So I can't tell my mama to do breathing exercise in the morning, and I know she's an anxious person. She ain't gonna never do that. She's 70 years old.
Mm-hmm.
She's never gonna do that. But the things that she is going to do, I tell her, Mama, can we do this every day? Can we do this every day? I don't want to call you every day and force you to be, and remind you and harass you to do it. You have to want to do it. But if you are consistent with whatever you choose, that's going to get you through it. I can guarantee you right now, the struggles that I just told you about, that I've been struggling with over the past few weeks,
Mm-hmm.
it's consistency. Because I wasn't taking my supplements. I wasn't going for walks.
Mm.
I was letting the depression win. You know what I mean? I wasn't
Yes.
being consistent with what I need to do. And I know that I need to do it because I'm a mental health advocate. I'm telling people, hey, this is what you should do. But I wasn't doing it.
Yeah.
I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't being consistent. And when you choose to be consistent, when you get sick and tired of being sick and tired, and you choose to be consistent, that's gonna change the game. That's gonna change everything.
Mhm.
That
Sorry, I
is a
feel like I was like
word.
preaching a little bit. Yeah, I feel like
No, that is the word. That is definitely a word. I think we've all struggled, with some mental health. I mean, recently I went through a great loss. I lost my mom last January. So
I'm
it's
sorry.
just Thank you. It's been right at a year, and like it was like, what do I put? I got nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And having the wanting to put something out, but not just feeling it, and then sharing. Making the decision to share about it. And I, am not one that's, I guess, so comfortable, like you mentioned, sharing emotionally with people in that way. You try to bring some, put your best foot forward and always come with a smile. But sometimes it ain't a smiling situation. And
Right.
then that's where the authenticity comes in. And that's, we wanted that to be our theme today, that, sometimes it just gets real out here. And, if your creator is going to, come out in your content, or it should, that's what authenticity is about, being yourself no matter what's going on, whether you just went through a loss, you kind of went through some, in your content, you've shared different experiences that you went through, the job loss, other things that you share, and people are going through this
Hmm.
and feeling it. And it's, people, all kind of things. So I just kind of want you to, share on the authenticity, because people can really relate to that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and that's what we strive to do.
Mm-hmm.
As content creators, if you're on here just put out content and just get money and be famous or get notoriety and everything, you in the wrong business. You're not. You gotta. I think you have to be serving people when you content creating.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the main three things what is to entertain, inspire, or educate. I think those are the big three. So you got to be doing one of those three, or some kind of combination of that in order to move the needle. And if you are just on here and you just kind of want to just go through the motions, and you can't open up to show people who you are, you probably shouldn't be doing a podcast. You probably shouldn't be doing content. You probably shouldn't be having a YouTube channel or anything.
Mm-hmm.
People don't relate to just you throwing out, you know, phrases, euphemisms, in everything, and saying this is what you should be doing in your word. You know, you have to show some kind of vulnerability. You have to show the show them who you are. Like, I'm doing like my Black Panther thing, but you got to show them who you are.
Yes.
You do. It's
Yes.
important. It's
Yes.
important. No one's
Yes.
going to resonate with you unless you do it. You know what I mean?
Right. Definitely. I love
I
that.
have a
Yeah.
question. Do you have any two episodes that you can share with us that have created an impact, or with the feedback you got, you were like, okay, I'm onto something here?
Uh, yeah. You know what? Maybe not. I have a couple episodes in mind, but I think so. I'll answer both those questions, but I'll answer them separately. So I think obviously I had an episode where I sit there kind of talked about um seasonal depression, and I was going through it really bad a couple years ago. It was like rough. Like I had isolated myself. I wouldn't talk to anybody. I was trying to go for walks. I was trying to fight my way through it, but I was literally, excuse me, I was literally like going for a walk, listening to Alicia Keys and crying as I'm walking. Like I was,
Oh
it was, yeah, it was bad. Like I can laugh
God.
now. I can laugh now, but it was, oh boy, it was bad.
Yeah.
And I came back
Yeah.
here and I was
What
like, no,
song was it?
Jared, huh?
What
Oh,
Alicia
it was
Keys
it was
song?
off her last album. She had one. I had to give y'all the notes. It's a real sad one.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
trying to make it. Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Oh man, I've had it on repeat. I had it on repeat. And I
Wow.
literally and I got on and I said I have to fight. I have to fight. And I recorded the episode. I think it was like a maybe a 15, 16 minute episode. I think I probably spent 5, 6 minutes crying on that episode. You know what I mean? So it's
Mhm.
not like,
Mhm.
but I knew I had to get it out there. It wasn't me making clips for it. It wasn't me sitting there, hey
Mhm.
y'all, new episode was about the time. I did that for me. So I posted that and put
Yeah.
it out there, and then it was like a slow bubble that people start hearing it, and then I start getting the comments. I'm like, oh, y'all heard that? Because I didn't even promote that one. Like that's the one I don't promote. That's the one that's getting the big
Oh.
buzz. So I
Okay.
so I think it was that one, and I think it's right after I kind of lost my dad. So
Hmm.
sorry to hear that.
which it was. Oh, thank you. It was a couple years ago, uh, and we had the most tumultuous relationship. You know what I mean? It was like,
Mhm.
it's kind of like Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker type of relationship. You know what I mean? But
Mhm.
at the end
Mhm.
of the day, that was my dad. And for a while, that growing up, he was my hero. And so we got to that point where I'm like, I having to express that and talk to people about how it feels like to lose somebody and recover and deal with that.
Mhm.
That resonated with people, and that was something that I did not think that I was going to make an episode about that, and do that. Now to answer the second part of your question, when did it start clicking for me? I didn't even know that I had a self help podcast for like the first 75 episodes. I li-
Okay.
I literally thought it was just like, you know, entertainment, social, maybe I sprinkle a
Okay.
little bit of knowledge in there. It wasn't until like episode 75, I kind of listened to the episode and I was like, I went back to the, people who was my little podcast class and when I started and we went to the group chat and I was like, hey y'all, did, did y'all know that I had a educational podcast? And they were like, yeah. I was like, wait, y'all knew? Like, yeah, of course. I said, when was y'all gonna tell me? So that was the butt of the joke, and everybody laughed at me.
Mm.
It wasn't until then where I was like, because I think I looked at it as educational, self help, everything. You had to be that expert, and I didn't feel like I
Mhm.
was an expert. So I was like, I can't have a podcast like that. And it took listening to be like, well, hey, you're sharing your personal experiences with people, and as you're sharing them, people are learning, people want to know, and people are getting this
Mhm.
information. People want to expand their minds. It's starting conversations for people to be better. Hell, even when I go home for the holidays, I have to stop at my aunt's house for at least 2 or 3 hours to sit there and talk about magnesium, vitamin D, my podcast, what's going
Mhm.
on with my life. How can I be better? Inspire her to start taking trips. At 73 or 74, I can't remember how. Oh, I hope Ancestors ain't listening. I'm sorry, I forgot how old you are. But whatever the age in her 70s, you know what I mean. She is. I'm having to describe all that. I'm just like, but as I'm doing it. I'm cracking jokes with her. I'm laughing at her. I'm making her laugh. I'm saying silly stuff, and it's resonating with her because it loosens her up, and she's accepting of the information because she feels like she's being entertained and educated and inspiring all at the same time. I was like, is that what I'm doing? That's wild. That's wild to sit there and think about. And so that's when it clicked for me when I was like, oh, this is what I'm doing. Okay, let's that's the lane. And it's
Mhm.
weird because at the time I didn't see anyone riding that lane like that. So I
Mhm.
thought I was doing something wrong. I didn't think about me just being an innovator. I was like, well, I need to do better because I ain't doing it right because I don't see nobody else doing it. So you had to be out, step out on faith to be like, this is what's comfortable for me. Cause I
Mhm.
cause I can I can go to do a podcast episode and give out all of this knowledge and read it off from Chat GPT from my research. It don't hit the
Mhm.
same. Trust me, I tried it. It don't hit the same.
Right.
When you
Right.
when you talk about it from your authentic point of view, and you're
Mhm.
like, hey, this is what I'm going through, and hey, I found some information on why I'm going through it, and then you spill out how you are. You're being vulnerable. It changes the game.
Hmm. So, with that in mind, what does success look like to you?
Mm, mm. Jen, see, my therapist asks me that question all the time, and I don't never get that question right. but yeah, she gets me with it every time. But uh, it's ever changing. So I'm gonna give you the current definition of what success looks like for me right now. I think success is about um, the people that you help, the people that you impact,
Mhm.
and it could be one person that hit you up this month and said, "Hey, you make a difference in my life." It could be 50. It doesn't really matter about the downloads. I kind of keep telling myself,
Mhm.
it doesn't really matter about the downloads. I keep trying to tell myself that. But it doesn't really matter about the downloads or the followers or how many people liked your stuff or, oh yeah, this reel, this clip from this podcast, it gave me 5,000 looks. I'm Instagram famous now. I'm killing it. And it matters about this. It matters about that impact and
Right.
to have people that I talk to that listen to the podcast and they go in my DMs and they're like, yo, when you said this, and then we can sit there and have a conversation
Mm-hmm.
about it, for a good 15 minutes, or even throwing out, or even outside the podcast. The fact that I had a friend a couple years back hit me up in my DMs and thank me and say that I changed their life. And I'm like, what in the blue blazers are you talking about? Like, like we we might have had 5 conversations since college. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then she just
Wow.
directed me back to a point where she asked me for something. She asked me for some money, and I said, yeah, sure, you got it, whatever you need. And like, what do you need it for? And she was trying to actually use that money to sit there and purchase some diet pills and everything because the significant other was pressuring her to sit there and do that. I'm like, you can get the money from me for anything else but that. Like, you are beautiful as you are. And you don't need nobody saying it. And that was just a general reaction. That was way before content creation, Jarratt, or anything like that. And she said that resonated with her. And I'm just like, I barely remember that conversation. But you know what I'm saying? There's certain
Mm-hmm.
things that you can say and do that somebody might say and do that change your life, and you don't even realize they might not even realize that it didn't impact you like that. So it's little
Right.
things like that. That's what success is. It's changing people's lives
Mm-hmm.
just by being you. Just by being you.
Absolutely. I feel like making a difference, definitely. And there's so many little things you can do to help someone, And so I love that. That is your response to that.
Yeah,
Sambasa.
and I got a couple of questions here regarding your journey.
Okay,
Uh,
hit me with it.
you consider yourself? I mean, I'm going to consider you a mentor at this point. Do you have or do you go out to mentor kids, men, or you just use your podcast as a tunnel or of whatever, a tunnel to be able to reach out to other people, or what is it that you do?
You know what? You see how I made the face when you said mentor, because I don't know if I'm ready for it. Okay. Let me try to. You're right. So technically, you're right. I mean, from my experience and how I try to talk to people, try to uplift people, yes, I can say that probably I have mentored people like indirectly. I don't know if I consider myself a mentor, but it took like a year or two for me to consider myself a podcaster, even though I was doing podcasts. So neither here nor there. But do I do it outside of podcasting?
Mhm.
No, not yet. I think I have. I
Mm-hmm.
think I've had people and I've had conversations with people. Hell, I've had my therapist tell me that that it should be something more to it. It should be like a men's group. It should be that. I just I just kind of talk to the people that's in my life. I think the main thing for me, where I consider myself a mentor in that sense, is my daughter. Like, Brooklyn, shout out to Brooklyn if she's listening. I love her. Well, she's 16, and she is the greatest person in my life. Like, she's changed my life. She's the reason I'm still alive. Let me not get teary eyed because I will talk about Brooklyn. But like, when we have our conversations and we're just talking about life, we're just talking about the people that she's dating. We're talking about just philosophy or
Mm-hmm.
how you can be better. I try not to give the whole, the sitcom speech that you get at the end of the sitcom episodes, and it's supposed to be the learning thing and then change people's life. And they're like, oh yeah, I learned that. I try not to do that, but it's just having conversations, and again, it's sharing personal experiences. So it you think it's hard to be vulnerable with people on a podcast. Try being
Mm-hmm.
vulnerable to your kid and telling her, like, yes, your daddy suffers from depression, and he at one point in time wanted to commit suicide. That's a whole different scary thing right there.
Mm-hmm.
But it's to keep her from going through stuff that dads went through. I think it's important to be that honest and being that mentor. So
Mm-hmm.
that's probably the extent of my mentorship thus far. But as you saying that, like, I feel like I probably should
We
expand that
getting
a little bit more. Yeah, I probably
so
should.
now my next question is,
Okay.
I'm seeing a smiling and happy Jerry right now.
Yeah.
You say 2 weeks ago things were like not the way they are today.
Yeah.
What actually made turn the switch? and made you come back to the happy club?
That's a good question. I don't know if I got an answer. Because I think it's important to know that it's important to know that, and it's important for people to know that may not suffer through mental health
Mm-hmm.
issues, that
Mm-hmm.
it's not linear. You're not sad
Mm-hmm.
and then you go and be happy. So you know what I mean? Like today once, because we knew about this for, this coming up, this episode coming up for a while. So mentally I'm like preparing, I'm sitting there talking to myself. Y'all should see me, the prep work involved in this. It's taking a shower, it's mumbling to myself, like sitting, positive. But it's a whole process. It's a whole process. But
Cool.
excuse me, it is. But maybe an hour or two from now, life could hit me and I could be a little down. But
Mm-hmm.
I told this to my daughter just yesterday. The issues that you're facing, it's not it's it's not the issues that you're facing, it's how you respond to them.
Mm-hmm.
So
Mm-hmm.
when you mess up on something, and maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing. Maybe after this I should be going and doing some breathing, and sitting in some Epsom salt, which is magnesium chloride, and it's going to help you with your mood and help you feel better if you're struggling with sleeping. It's a little pro tip. So maybe I need to do that right now, right? And so as I but maybe instead I have some Crown Royal and I stay up and watch TikTok, and then I go to bed till like 4 in the morning, and then I'm dragging for the rest of the day, so I'm not productive. And so now I'm sad again. But that's because of the choices I made. So that was my fault, right? That was my fault.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not me sitting there staying and watching cartoons for like the next day because I made the decision. It's how I respond after that. And I think me this week I just decided I was like, enough, Jared. Like enough. Okay, I get it. I get it. Life sucks right now for you. Enough. Because we can't if you keep sitting there saying life sucks, how you gonna dig out of it? How are you
Right.
gonna be on top? Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's not saying that you gotta do something like monumental, like, oh, I did this and this how I turned around. It might be, hey, today I'm not gonna lay in bed all day. Today I'm gonna get up and I'm gonna take a shower. And I'm gonna put some
Right.
towels in the washing machine, and I am going to go for a 15-minute walk. That might be all you got that day. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And
Mm-hmm.
if you
Mm-hmm.
and if you do that, maybe the next day you do some more. Maybe not. Maybe you do the same thing, and maybe you build that up. It's about being better, 1% better every day. That's what's gonna make that difference. And so when I sit there and was like, what made the change? I was like, let's do some stuff. And this week is a result of the stuff that I did last week. I still felt like crap last week, but I
Mm-hmm.
I got up and had some fun. Or I went to a restaurant to eat somewhere. Or I decided to sit there and clean my apartment. Well, my sister helped because she came. Shout out to my sister. She came and helped clean my apartment. It was a mess, y'all. So it was all of those things. And so when you get up on Sunday morning, you're like, this week is gonna be a different week. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
got this. And I think that's the change is it's making those small changes. It's just pushing yourself a little bit to get out of that. And then after a week or two, you're like, oh, this week I'm good. How did that happen? Because of those small changes.
Right.
I love
Now,
this.
I got another question. Jared is mentor. I'm going to use the word mentor. Or
Okay.
Jared is a support to everyone else. Who's your support?
Ooh.
Who's the
Ooh.
person that makes you accountable and tells you, "Hey, Jared, you gotta suck it up and move," or you gotta, because like every somebody who's doing AA, right? They always
Mhm.
have somebody who they can call when they're down. They can somebody who will check on them. So who checks on you?
Mm, that's a good question. Okay. All right. We're gonna do this. Okay. So
So
I I am I
right.
am it's all good. I am super stubborn. So I'm one of those people that I'm a Taurus. Okay, I'm super stubborn. So so I tend to like want to help everybody, and I tend to
Mm-hmm.
really struggle with taking help from people. Because you have to
Mm-hmm.
understand. I just gave a shout out to my sister for flying in from Dallas and buying me some stuff and help me clean my house. I cried the time when she was doing it because I didn't want no help. You know what I mean? So
Um,
I struggle to do that, but I will say
mm-hmm.
this: it's probably not one person. It takes a village with me because I'm
Okay.
that stubborn. It takes a village. It takes. I am lucky enough that even when I'm being stubborn and I'm isolating myself and I don't want to talk to people and I'm not is don't let this fool you. Don't let this smile fool you. I'm not a people person. Like I'm an introvert. I just want to be recharging my battery in this bed over here and just watching TV and zoning out and maybe a couple TikToks and then I'm good. But it takes that village to chop. Like, all right, Jerry, we're gonna give you a couple of days, but on the third day, if you don't answer this phone, we pull it up, or or
Mm-hmm.
hey, come over here, we going out, or hey, we about to go for a walk, or hey, I need you, I'm gonna talk to you about this, or let me send you some lunch. Even don't buy me nothing, but you send me some lunch, and so now I got tears in my eyes as I'm eating this delicious pho and this bun me sandwich because it's going hard. You know what I mean? But it's those little things like that. It's like, hey, look,
Mm-hmm.
take you here, let's do this, let's do that, let's check on you, let's call you. It literally takes a village, and I am so appreciative of their village. Even keeping me alive to right now during this hard time frame. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you
Mm-hmm.
know, not even the mental stuff, just the financial stuff and everything else. So it literally takes a village, and you have to put yourself in a position to have a village like that because people are not lucky enough to have that because we hold on to negative ties. We hold on to people that's been there with us for years that don't really serve us no purpose. When you start really looking at it, like I had to do a friend evaluation. I'm like, this friend don't really, she ain't never did nothing for me. Like nothing, like ever. Like what? It's been
Mm-hmm.
like 30 years. Like why am I still talking to you? You have to
Mm-hmm.
have those real conversations and keep those people in your life that y'all have a symbiotic relationship and not a parasitic relationship. You don't want anybody to sit there just sucking the lifeblood from you. You
True.
need somebody that's going to that both of y'all going to benefit from it. It's not like oh I did for you now you do for me. That's me talking to myself because I'm a real tit for tat person. Somebody do something for me now. I got about it the next time. But it's about sharing and being there for those individuals because
Mm-hmm.
I have a friend that I can't pour into anything financially because I ain't got it. And, but I give them a place where they can sit there and talk and be themselves and the rest. And they say that's more valuable than any type of money thing that they've ever gotten from anybody. So it's
Mm-hmm.
important to have that
Mm-hmm.
community. So long story long, because I really took a long time to answer that question. But long story long, it's not one person. It takes a village. Hey, y'all got me on my
Okay.
soapbox. I'm over here just talking and rambling. I'm sorry.
No,
It's my first.
No, that's
It's my
great.
first real podcast since the break. So I guess I had it all built up. You know what I mean?
yeah, and we need
Yeah.
that. We need that info because people don't really understand how far it goes. And like now, you being a podcaster, they see you being the strong person. Yes, you might tear up here and there, but that doesn't resonate too much because you hear and you stand for something. So when they see you there, they're like, okay, that's Jerry. He's going through what he's going through, but you, let me just say, you look like a superstar out there to them. So they don't know the backstory who you
Yeah.
are. And I appreciate the fact that you did come out and share a whole lot of the information that you have. So next thing we'll go to is how we can find you. It's about that damn time, right?
It's about
Podcast.
damn time. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Hey,
Well,
how can we
it's a
find you? Socials? Give us your spiel.
okay. It's been a while since I did
There you
this.
go.
Let me stretch. Let me get ready. It's about damn time. As I said, it's a podcast about self-discovery. It's my self journey, my road to building a better me, and hopefully through my conversations and revelations, you build a better you. We have episodes on Tuesdays. Now, I took a break, so it's been a while since I did an episode. But guess what? On January 29th, new episodes come out. I'm putting 2 new episodes out. I'm putting
Hmm.
pressure. I'm putting pressure on myself to do this. All right, so 2 episodes for the price of one. January 29th is coming out, and then thereafter, every Tuesday, new episodes drop. Available on all podcasting platforms wherever you get your podcast. If you want to sit there and connect with me socially, It's About Damn Time Pod. I'm on the Book of Face. I'm on Instagram. I do a little TikTok, but we don't know if that's gonna stay or not. So you can find me on there. That's fine. That's cool. It's whatever. You know what I mean? But I'm everywhere. It's About Damn Time. My personal page, the whole damn show. You sense the theme here. Is, damn solutions. The whole damn show. It's About Damn Time. You see the correlation. The whole damn show. That's DAWHOLEDAMNSHOW. The whole damn show. I'm everywhere across all platforms like that as well.
Awesome. And
And
we
the
will
book
have those links posted in the show notes when we get to the audio episode. Some other.
and the book that's coming out.
Oh, the book. Okay. Okay. You know what? The next time you talk to me, remind me about the book again. I'm okay. Okay. So I probably need to work on a book. You're not the first person to say it. So
Life stories of
I'm gonna
Jarratt.
kick around some ideas. Yeah.
Actually, the title can just be it's about damn time, and you have the
That's
title.
true.
Just talk about your own stories of Jarratt,
All
or
right.
Jarratt's
All right. Hold
stories.
on. I'm gonna write that down. Okay. All right. You're right. I got no defense. Like
About
I'm a
damn
person
time,
and
and then the
my stories.
subline Jarratt stories.
Okay. All right. Like I like to be the one to have an offense and be like, nah, I can't do that because I got nothing. So okay. All right. I guess I gotta
Well,
write the
we're
book up.
looking forward to the new
Yeah.
season. I know
I'm excited. I'm excited.
yeah, absolutely. I know I've got a chance to check out some of your episodes. There's so much content, guys. Please check out Jared's podcast. It is really good. He's got some good episodes.
Yeah, and I want to say this. It's not, I know sometimes, you want the mental health stuff and you want, you need to be uplifted and everything. It's not always mental health. I'm not gonna sit there and
Yeah.
beat you up and get you all depressed and sit there and talk about, killing yourself all the time. Don't worry. I mean, I uplift you in a lot of different ways. We talk about a lot of things from, relationships and your relationship with yourself as well. So I
Mhm.
have some stuff that I've recorded with some, some what I call podcast big wigs. The Lawsons. I love them. To
Yeah,
death. I'm a big fan
I
to them.
saw
So
that
yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
saw that one.
Yeah,
Those
so
are
I
people's.
did I did Dominic. Now I got Kendra coming up, so I'm excited about that.
Okay.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just talk about different things. Even in regards to just it's a lot. It's everything about self. I don't want to spoil it. I don't want to spoil it for you. Well, check it out Tuesdays. It's coming. It's coming.
Good.
It's coming.
Good.
So I think with that, I'm looking forward to a lot coming from
Yeah.
It's About Damn Time. And hey, it's been great. I've enjoyed this show.
Absolutely.
I appreciate
100%.
y'all having me. Yeah,
So
thank
with
you so
that,
much.
then take us home.
Ep- Okay. I'm like so geeked right now. But okay, so again, we thank Jared for joining us in our season 7. And hopefully, you found today's conversation inspiring and enlightening. If you found the episode meaningful, please consider sharing it. If you made it this far, please like, share, subscribe to the channel on the visual episode. Our collective awareness and advocacy play a crucial role in creating positive change. Please stay tuned for more engaging content, and we look forward to continuing these important conversations in the future. So, again, we thank you for being a part of Woke by Accident Sambaza collaboration. Jared, please stick around for our proper goodbye, and everyone else, take care.